Ang ganda. Madilim.
If you go to that hotel, you can have a cup of coffee and you can have a guided tour around the hotel. Beautiful on the inside. It still looks like an industrial. Small tower. It's a part of the old defense wall from the 15th century. The city wall was situated here on the right hand side, and defense towers were built around the city wall to defend the city against enemy ships. Turned back to Amsterdam of the crew. They died at sea or stayed behind in other countries. On top of the tower there's a small ship made out of copper. That's the Half Moon from Henry Hudson. He sailed out from here. He was working for the United East Indian Company, and he should find a new way to the east. But instead he was sailing away from Amsterdam and he came out in the west. You know Hudson River, Hudson Bay, and that's an island named after Henry Hudson. But also Yankee is a Dutch name. That's a nickname for a Dutch guy, Jan Kees.
Dutch guy.
Beautiful building on the left hand side. You can see the Dutch flags on top because it's Liberation Day today. It used to be a house for different shipping companies. They were settled in that building. Nowadays it's a 5-star hotel, a 2 Michelin star kitchen called the Amrad. At the end of the 60s, the city government decided, okay, only 2,500 houseboats may stay in the city, the rest have to move out. And when you have a license to stay in the city, you have also the rights for water, gas, electricity and connections with the sewer system. So nowadays no wastewater is going into the canals anymore. And if you want to buy a houseboat nowadays, you pay about 150,000 euros for a houseboat. You pay about $500,000 for the license.
Bahay talaga yan.
And if you look to the houseboats, the nice thing in Amsterdam, we are not used to close our curtains. Because that's the Calvinistic thing. If you close your curtains, you have sneaky business going on. You have something to hide. And that's why in Amsterdam the curtains are always open, so you can see what they are eating, what they are watching on television. And sometimes you see more than you expected when they should close the curtains. Montelbaans Tower. The top of the Montelbaans Tower is built later by the architect Hendrik de Keyser. The public clock were built inside it, and the Amsterdam people gave it the nickname the Crazy Jack, because the tower was standing on wooden pillars, and the clock and the towers, the top of the tower was building on it, and it was actually too heavy. The tower was leaning over to one side, and that meant that the clock was not functioning very well. When the clock signed 2, then the bell rang 8 times, and actually it was 5:30, so you never knew what time it was.
You're so gondola. I hope you.
And this canal is an old fortification canal. The big ships could not sail any further into the city. They had to unload the cargo here into the warehouses or on smaller vessels. So in a moment after the bridge you can also see some warehouses on the left hand side, easy to recognize. Most of the time they still have window shutters. On the left hand side, just before the bridge, you can see a small house in between with a step cable. The top looks like a staircase. And this house is the so-called pepper house. They stored the spices and the peppers over here.
Oh, really?
So you have to be very careful what's over the spices and the peppers. We have a saying in Amsterdam, if you buy something that's actually too. So here on the left hand side you can see the old warehouses where they store the goods. That was taken from all countries in all over the world. They were stored here and then distributed back over Europe, and that makes Amsterdam one of the most rich city in the world. We have two large companies, the West Indian Company and the East Indian Company. In a moment, you're coming into the canals of Amsterdam. Every time when you go into the canals or leave the canals, you have to pass some sluice gates. You see the sluice gates in front. You can see the sluice gates house. So you can see the doors here on the left and the right hand side to close off the canals, because Amsterdam had an open connection with the North Sea. So there was high and low tide in Amsterdam. And to protect the city against overflooding, the locks were closed off to protect the city. And at night we close off 14 of them, let 2 gates open, and in the east of the city we pumping 600,000 cubic meter of water into the canals. Then you have an artificial current that flushes the dirty water through the open gates into the harbour straight to England. New modern building in the old city of Amsterdam. They had to tear a lot of houses down, and then this ugly building came here. We are now going along an old Jewish area. I say old Jewish area because there's no Jewish area anymore in Amsterdam. Before the Second World War, 85,000 Jewish people were living in Amsterdam, especially in this area. After the Second World War, only 5,000 returned in the whole country. On the right hand side you can see another small tower, also part of the old defense wall of Amsterdam. And at this moment we are on the Amstel River. A lot of damn cities. Rotterdam, Volendam, Monnikendam, Amsterdam, Werkendam. So cities all built nearby a river that was dammed. On the left hand side you can see the Opera House in Amsterdam, also the big name, the False Teeth. At the first concert that they gave here in the Opera House, the total carpet was ruined and destroyed. The Blue Bridge. On the left hand side, old wooden drawbridge, the Walter Suspense Bridge, named after a guy who saved 600 Jewish children. He was working for the Dutch resistance. And also on the Amstel River, on the left hand side in a moment, you can see the most famous bridge of Amsterdam, the Skinny Bridge. Comes from the Amstel River. They built a stage on the river, and even now the king and the queen are also over there, and that's why you see so a lot of policemen and police boats. So they just arrived. I see the boats where they going normally with, and they enjoy the concert, a classical concert on the Amstel River. And that's because of the Liberation Day today. Gentleman's Canal, that's where we are now. The second one is the Emperor's Canal, and the third one is the Princess Canal. The Gentleman's Canal, named after the most rich people of Amsterdam. All the Bill Gates of the 17th and 16th century were living here. The staircase in front of the house, people have paid tax over the number of steps because the staircase is standing on city property. So you see one-sided staircase, double-sided staircase, and actually it was to show your neighbor how rich you were because your staircase had one step more. 5 houses in one row, just bought up by the Waldorf Astoria Hotel. For these 5 houses they paid 80 million.
Umaatras kami. So actually, yeah, we're on this cruise canal or canal cruise, canal cruise. We're doing the canal cruise. So nice. And yeah, we're enjoying the ride. Paikot-ikot lang kami dito sa canal. Ayan.
On the right hand side, in front of the
social
boat,
na
there is
canal
a Thorbecke Square. You can see the statue of Mr. Thorbecke standing over there.
Itong kanal na ang pinaka-social. Kasi sa atin ang kanal madumi. Pero ito, ginagawa nila ng cruise.
Yes, rich canal.
Square is the Rembrandt Square, famous nightlife area. A lot of bars, restaurants, discotheques, coffee shops.
Ayan,
Kaya pala pinay mga leche.
sabi ko sa'yo, death march yung kagasi.
Sabi mo, balikan mo pa ako. Buti na sa ako.
Saan si Anne?
Wala.
House on the left hand side, 520. For a couple of years sold for 9.5 million. Beautiful decorations on top. You can see Neptune with his son sitting on dolphins.
Oh yeah, nice.
And there is only one person who can live here, and that's the mayor of Amsterdam.
Wow.
And she lives here on the left hand side, number 502, the house with the small balcony.
Yan,
For the first time
may
in
mali-
history, we have a female mayor.
Oh,
This
wow.
And we are not happy about
The
it.
house of the mayor.
Because she's from the Green Party. She wants to get rid of all the tourists, all the boats, all the cars. And actually she wants to live in Amsterdam all by herself. If you want to know something about Amsterdam, you can go to a building here on the left hand side called the Basel. That's the Amsterdam Archive. They have old movies, old films,
Kay siya bong
old documentations about Amsterdam.
Bon.
And at this moment
That's
we are
for
in the
you.
golden band of the gentleman's canal.
I've
Here,
been there.
the most rich houses. It's a combine from different kind of rivers. So we don't have natural stone that had to be imported from Belgium or France. Beautiful house here on the right hand side, beautiful decorations on top.
Pero hindi na pala to bahay. Offices. Office.
Here Amsterdam is built on wooden pillars. And that's because what I told you before, we're living in a delta. Wooden pillars threading 21 meters into the ground to the sand layer.
May naglilin na building. No, dadi ako lang nila kita. A beautiful building. Taman lin. Wow, dalawa lang sila dun. Oh. Wow. Ganda naman.
Ito din o lining din. Sis
Oo. The leaning houses of Amsterdam. Ganda, ganda, ganda. Saan? Oldest university.
University. Ewan.
Left, right.
Nabubuyong na ako na.
Baka ito, may mga tao. Very
Ma-flat yan. Ma-flat yan.
O, well, sabi na naman, because you make it.
If you look now,
Asian
you can see how dangerous it is to park your car over here.
Park very close to the water.
Wala nga. Tawag ka na
Ayan na, oh, ayan na.
Ay, makumpangin ko. Yung kanina maganda po kung meron siyang arch. Wow!
Atras na naman kami kasi hindi makadaan.
Of the main canals. The
Nasa
Atlas Canal is
Emperor's
actually for the
Canal
middle
na
class,
kami.
The rich and the poorer people lived on the Emperor's Canal. You see some smaller houses, some wider houses. There's a big, huge white house coming up on the left-hand side. That was the house of a banker from the 17th century, Thomas Hope. His yearly turnover in the 17th century was 63 million euros.
Very rich. Saan na siya?
Nowadays there are 16 apartments in it. House, we still use these hoisting beams. Moving out is easy, open the window, throw everything out.
That's
But
so
if you want to move
cute.
in, you have to hoist your IKEA furniture to the top floor. We love IKEA because it comes in small packages, it always fits through the window. And sometimes these hoisting beams are used by the wife of the house owner when the husband is coming home totally drunk from a bar and he's not able to walk up the stairs. You can hoist him up to the bedroom floor or let him hang outside. And then you got the so-called flying
That
Dutchman.
hanging is better.
Canal. They're all connected to each other. It's a 5-star hotel. It's difficult to see now, but there is a crown, and that's the crown of Emperor Maximilian van Habsburg. Amsterdam helped in financial for his wars, and for that Amsterdam was under protection of the Austrian Empire. You can see the coat of arms of Amsterdam. Guys, I don't know who they are.
Ito mga bahay na
But this house is
noon
sold
pa, mga
about
1800s
7 years
pa
ago
to
for
ginawa.
14 million euros. It's about
They were
1,200
built
square meters.
around 1800s.
Puro pilit.
Ganda. Sa kay picture.
So this is the Breweries Canal, also one of the connecting canals. A brewery canal named after the many beer brewers who settled along this canal. There were about 16 beer brewers along this canal. And that's because beer became very important to drink. The quality of the water was very bad, and beer was boiled, there was alcohol in it, so it was healthier to drink beer instead of water. Special flavor of Heineken.
Ang cute na.
Oh, there's my angel Gabriel, Michael, and everything.
1843.
Wow. 1843, ha? Oh, mga collection of bikes. Oh, ayan, mga bikes. Ayan. Ablada. Kaya, iskuya lang ito.
Sa bisikleta mo.
1 kilometer.
Pareho, pagkatang kulay.
Mahilo ka dyan hanapin ang bike mo.
No pansit lang. Balik na tayo.
Hindi na tayo. Oo, pwede na.
So right after the bridge on the right side of the boats, you can see the entrance to the bicycle park underneath the water. We're going over it now. We'll park here around the central station. People could not walk on the streets anymore. So they found a solution. They built a new indoor bicycle park here on the left hand side in front of the boat, 3 stories high, built for 2,500 bicycles. You see that at this moment there is no bicycles inside the flat because this one is closed. They have a new bicycle park in front of the central station underneath the water. It's just opened 3 months ago. It's not enough,
Bicycle park daw
7,500,
to.
so on the other side of the central station is
Dito
also
pwede
another
mag-park
bicycle
yung mga
park
bikes.
for 4,500. Amsterdam, built in 1889, and the station is resting on 8,600 wooden pillars. It's built in the middle of the harbor on 3 artificial
So
islands.
dyan pala ang
Architect of
daan
that
nila
central
to
station
bring
is
down their
Kuipers,
bike.
and he's also the man who
Underwater.
designed
Wow,
the
bilib
National Museum, the
naman.
Rijksmuseum on the other side of the city center. His house to the Victoria Hotel Group. So they had to reconstruct the hotel and build it around that house. St. Nicholas
That
Church,
small house there. Oh, wow.
St. Nicholas
Yes.
telephones, children, husbands, boyfriends, girlfriends, take everything with you.
Oh, we can leave husband.
And I wish you a very nice day in the city of Amsterdam. Thank you
Oh,
for
now
being
you
with
say
us.
bye-bye.
Have fun.
We have come to the end of our journey.
Lukso na
Yung
lang.
aming canal cruise.
Lukso na.
Daddy, did you enjoy your canal cruise?
Kasi daw, Kel. Kasi daw, Kel.
Did you enjoy your canal cruise?
Siyempre.
Immensely.
Immensely.
Wala yan doon sa ating. Meron sa Cabon River.
Palabas na kami. Tapos na kami sa amin. Nandiyan pala. Oh.
Bye-bye. I'm sending email.
That's where we there.
Thank you so much.
I don't need to go there.